While the title of this video sounds like a movie title, this is a very real case. Most times when people disappear, it's usually due to kidnapping or murder. However, that isn't always the case, and it isn't every time that the person or their body is found after investigations have been carried out. Welcome back to the Crime Lab channel. In today's video, we will look at Shinya Matsuoka's bizarre disappearance. Many kidnapping cases and disappearances have been covered on this channel, but none of them have been this bizarre. There is something more to the story of Shinya Matsuoka and how he disappeared in just 20 seconds. Let's take a trip to 1989 Japan and look at this mystery together. The story is about a little boy named Shinya Matsuoka, a 4-year-old who lives with his family in Ibaraki Prefecture in the middle of Honshu Island in Japan. The case of Shinya's disappearance is considered one of the most mysterious vanishings in Japan today. What started out as a lovely family taking a walk and hanging out together turned into an alarming missing persons case and a sorrowful story for the family. In the Ibaraki Prefecture, there is a local family with the father, Matsuoka Masanobu, a software engineer, and his wife, Matsuoka Keiko, a full-time housewife who takes care of 3 children at home. The eldest daughter is 7 years old and goes to kindergarten. The second son is Matsuoka Nobuya, also known as Shinya, who just turned 4 years old. The third child is also a boy who just turned 2 years old. On March 5, 1989, Shinya's mother Keiko receives a call saying that her mother had died. Keiko's family was in Komatsushima City, Tokushima Prefecture, Shikoku, more than 700 kilometers away from the Honshu Island where Matsuoka's family lived. The family drove from home and arrived at Komatsushima City the next day. However, due to the rush, they didn't book a hotel, and Keiko's family didn't have a room for them to stay in. The family was worried, but luckily a relative told Matsuoka Masanobu that he could go to his house and stay, and Matsuoka Masanobu agreed. The relative lives a bit out of the way, with their house located in the mountains in the suburbs. The house is located halfway up the mountain and surrounded by forest and farms. On the morning of March 7th, Matsuoka Masanobu got up very early, and so did his wife Keiko, who got up and helped her relatives prepare breakfast in the kitchen. At 8 o'clock, Matsuoka Masanobu took the 3 children for a walk. About 10 minutes later, Matsuoka Masanobu took the children back, but when he was about to arrive at the house, the second son, Shinya, didn't seem to have had enough fun, and he said he wanted to spend some more time playing. Shinya's father thought it would be fine to let the child play for a while, so he agreed and told his son not to run around. The father then went into the house and handed the other 2 children to the mother, and turned around to take Shinya back to the house. The father thought that a 4-year-old child should not be able to go very far at this time, as it was just about 20 seconds. However, that was all the time he needed, and the child disappeared in such a short time. Matsuoka Masanobu was looking down the steps of the relative's house, calling out the child's name, and the son seemed to have suddenly disappeared from the world. The family fanned out calling his name, but there was no response and no clue or sign of where the boy had gone. At 10 o'clock, Matsuoka Masanobu decided to call the police. After the police received the call, they immediately organized more than 100 people to search in the nearby mountains and forests, which later became 200 people as time went by. Yet when they searched the surrounding areas of 2 kilometers, they didn't have much luck, and still did not find any clues related to the missing child. It was almost as if he had just blinked out of existence. What made this case of Shinya's disappearance quite bizarre was the short time it took for the child to disappear suddenly. Also, the investigators were faced with certain facts. One of those facts was that the area where the family was staying was very remote, and the house was located at the end of the town's road, which means that only a few people would go there if they didn't live in that corner. Also, people doing field work in the farmlands just 100 meters from the scene didn't see any strange cars, and there were no signs of traffic accidents in the area. The last fact was that no one outside the neighborhood knew that the family was staying at the relative's house. This ruled out the chances of a stranger taking the child away, or did it? Even though Shinya was incredibly mature for his age and had no issues saying his parents' phone number, home address, and names, the investigators still believed that the chances of him having become a victim of a crime were low for the reasons mentioned above. That said, immediately after their son's disappearance, the family set up a recording device on the phone located in the relative's house. This was a good idea as it led to the possible lead. The phone rang on the 16th of March, the day before the family had planned to return home. Shinya's father picks it up, and a female voice with a typical Tokushima accent asks, "Is your wife there?" Matsuoka Masanobu hands the phone to his wife Keiko, and the female voice says to her, "I am Mariko Nakahara's mother. My child is in Group Moon of the Seikei Kindergarten." The name of the kindergarten was familiar to her, as it was where Shinya's older sister went at the time. The female voice continued, "We have put together some money to support you. Where should we send it to? Are you returning home soon?" The mother responded that they would return home the following day. This was quite a cryptic call, but Keiko thought it was normal. Sometime later, Shinya's mother hadn't heard anything about the fund yet, but hesitated to ask about it out of politeness. There were also no phone calls from Mariko's mother either. The days went by, and Shinya's mother inquired about the money supposedly collected for the family. It was at that point that things got weirder. It turns out that there was no student named Mariko Nakahara at their kindergarten, and no money was collected for the purpose either. When Keiko thought about it, she realized it was unusual that the call came from someone with a Tokushima accent when they lived in Ibaraki. Also, it made no sense that a guardian of one of the kindergarten students knew the number of the family's relative's house. But then, how would someone from Tokushima know the name of her daughter's kindergarten? Shinya's disappearance gathered public attention, and his family had made over 50 TV appearances and their home telephone number public to get as much information as possible. There were a couple of supposed sightings of Shinya over the years. In May 1989, a man carrying a boy similar to Shinya was seen by the ocean in Tokushima. When the witness tried to take a closer look at the boy's face, the man turned away and got into a white car. The area is known to be where North Korean ships come by. In 1990, a boy who looked like Shinya was seen in front of a mall in Yamagata. His father went there and handed out flyers of his missing child to locals, who confirmed they had seen the boy at the store on a playground. Unfortunately, no further leads turned up. In 1997, a woman on her way home from work allegedly saw Shinya in a subway in Yokohama. He was sitting next to her and appeared to have injuries on the wrists, barely covered by a bandage. She talked to him, and he told her an older man was mistreating him. She gave him her number in case he needed help, and he called her just once, but there were no further leads. In 1998, a cashier at a video rental store in the Chugoku region claims he saw a child with injured wrists who took a Titanic postcard, showed it to a man who looked like a Yakuza member, and appeared to be keeping him under watch, and bought the card. The employee immediately told the store owner, and the two went looking for the boy, but they were already gone. In 2018, a man named Ryotu Wada was shown on TV claiming to be the missing Shinya Matsuoka. Some said Ryotu looked quite similar to Shinya, and people were highly anticipating the DNA test result, which would conclusively tell the entire nation the truth. Unfortunately, the DNA test concluded that Ryoto was not Shinya Matsuoka. The boy who went missing within 20 seconds had been missing for 33 years. There was even a movie based on this story titled Spirited Away. Thank you for watching this video. Hit us up in the comments section and give us a thumbs up if you liked this video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos.